day, Rusk enjoyers. Have to right, 'cause it's time for the Rust rotation. As you can see right here, this is the July 23, 2026 Rust store, and I'll be honest with you, at first glance I was just like, oh. But having actually looked at the skins, and of course acknowledging we also have the charity skins as well, you know what? It's not so bad. Like, I know a lot of you are focusing a specific skin. I'll get to it, don't you worry. But yeah, wow, okay then. It's actually not that bad. So you know that that thing that, you know, Face Punch specifically requested? Oh, what was it? Can we not have any camouflage auto turrets being made? Okay, yeah, that's fine. You know, I kept mentioning it all the time, didn't I? I even brought it up with the metal shop once. It got a bit silly, didn't it? Okay, cool. We have a green auto turret. What? Okay. Okay. So yeah, maybe this Rust store isn't so bad. Let's also acknowledge we got the Project Nova Garage Door, a very nice looking sequel. So, alright then, cool. I'm expecting a lot more of that. An interesting Deployable collection. Speaking of Deployable collection, Cold Hunter Electric Furnace, $4. What? Yeah. Alright then, well, you know what? I guess we're looking forward to a whole lot more Cold Hunter skins now. What Deployable would you like to see be made next? We also happen to have a transparent aim sight sap again, but only priced at $2. That's the cheapest transparent aim sight sap we have in the game. Okay. Oh, we got that exquisite looking bed. You got the perfect gift for the people in your base. You know what? I think a lot of people will be taking a liking to this. It's just nice and straightforward. Just simple and effective. Perfectly fine looking sword. Another Abyss skin is accepted. Of course, an armored door. And you know what, guys? You know what? It's not so bad. We still made progress. We got, count it, two bits of cloven armor this week. Hopefully we see a little bit more. So honestly, overall, okay, it's maybe not that bad. I will also sit here and say this. Perhaps they didn't want any super flashy, super insane looking skins this week because they wanted the charity skins to sell nicely. Again, all proceeds from the charity skins do contribute to the charity event. I'll talk more about that in a bit. So before we point out which skins are abnormal, what evil things are you expecting from here and now? Now, I have, like, creative placement in the server, so that's just a bit goofy. It's just a joke, but no. Think about it. Is going through the jungle going to be an absolute pain from here and now? Oh, you better keep looking around. You never know what might be out there. So that's just a goofy little tweet that I posted. So, all right, well, again, they said no camouflage auto turrets. Ta-da! Like a month later, ta-da! Alright then, let's now go ahead and point out of all these skins, which ones are and are not abnormal. And I can confirm the two skins this week that are not abnormal are the cartoon sap and the cell shading boots. Now, technically speaking, you could also say the charity skins as well, because of course you cannot trade them, you cannot sell them. So, yep, let's just quickly go through these. Again, I reiterate, with every purchase that you make, or rather one purchase, all the proceeds do contribute to the charity impact fund, and yeah, it's all for a good cause. But once they're gone, they're gone. These will be available for 2 weeks, so they should still be around next week as well. And you know what? I'm quite surprised. They're actually fairly priced. The hammer is $2, and the sleeping bag it's a bit pricey, but again, it does contribute to this. And I bet you, even like by tomorrow, that auto turret will be available because it contributes to this. Oh, okay. So yeah, we might be getting that available tomorrow then. Alright, that's sweet. And of course, keep an eye out. The Fancy Ob Global Warfare 4 Twitch drops will be available next week as well. So, alright, cool. So that means all the other skins this week, basically, whatever isn't the sap and the boots, everything else is not, well, is abnormal. Is abnormal. There you go. Sorry. So basically, we have 8 skins to chase after next week. Okay. I'm fine with that. Can I also point out this Rust store rotated fairly late? It was 10:30 in the evening UK time, so a fair bit later. So if I could just quickly refresh right now, you might notice that the sales aren't exactly super ridiculous. Yeah, there's your reason why. But I am surprised to see Thai tactical gloves is on top. But then again, I've noticed the previous black tactical gloves we've had, and well, they've actually worked out very nicely as investments in the past. So that's an interesting thing to go over when we do the predictions video. So, yeah, out of all these skins, which one's your favourite? And I think at the very least, we should hop in game and get a good look at all of them. And maybe then you'll probably get a good idea in regards to what's your favourite. And here we are in the jungle. For a very good reason, you'll find out in a second. In fact, you might be able to notice it right now. But first of all, oh wow, look at that. We got ourselves a very expensive electric furnace. Cold Hunter electric furnace. So I will point out the skin creators, like they actually tried for some hoodie and pants this past weekend. Not sure if those would be accepted, but we'll see. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see just a lot more deplorables from here and now. If you aren't fully well aware, Cold Hunter collection has been very successful these past few years as a very interesting weapon-only collection. Well, now with 2 deplorables being accepted, I can't help but assume we're about to see a lot more interesting skins. I will ask you, out of all the deplorables, what would you like to see being made next? And do you also think they might be quite pricey? As I said, it's got like a sort of prestige and esteem, because a lot of those older Cold Hunter skins are quite pricey. They are in demand. People have liked them, people have appreciated them. Can we see the same with the deplorables? Although chances are with more sales. We'll see how it goes. I can point out at the very least, much like what we saw with the armored door, it's not exactly very reflective. So, okay. Well, guess we just got to keep an eye on the workshop then. Keep an eye out for more interesting potential Cold Hunter deplorables. I would like, no, a wooden double door with some transparency, some icicles. That'd be cool. Just saying, that'd be cool. So, yep, priced at $4. Is that too much for you? Feel free to comment below. Right then. So, I bet you're just itching to get a good look at this. But if I were to just kind of like put the jungle in the background there. Turn your head. Thank you. See, it's obedient. Do you reckon that lines up quite nicely? What if I made it a little bit more brighter? Here you go. And now you got some shade there. See? It listens. So, yeah, honestly, I am surprised to see this happen so quickly. I thought inevitably we're going to see like a green auto turret or something like that eventually, a white one and whatnot. But not after a month. Especially after that announcement. So, okay. Apparently skin creators weren't supposed to make camouflage auto turrets. Like, is this actually trying to be camouflage? It's just green. It's just green. Well, it's probably good enough for people. Let's just get a good close-up look at you. Perfectly fine look and design. $3.49. Yeah, the deplorables this week are quite pricey. But, you know, considering what they are, I guess it makes sense, so... Okay, cool. So, did you notice the third auto turret in the background this whole time? Do you see him now? So, I'm not sure what people are going to be able to pull off with these auto turrets in the jungle. But you can still see the laser. You can still hear it, you know? So, like... Does it really matter? Especially considering that you have to put a foundation down and it essentially removes all the plants around it. Now, we did try with the jungle building skin here, but it still kind of stands out, you know? And if anything, if you're going to put it in some shade, you could just use the pirate auto turret instead, which should be cheaper. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, honest opinions, please. What do you think? Are people just overreacting? Doesn't even glow in the dark, by the way, so... Huh. Well, you know, if it glowed, it, in theory, would balance it out. Whatever. But, yeah. Is it all overblown? Does it even matter that much? Should Hedge just get a wrap on and move on? Yeah, cool. But I still need to show it off at night time with the lights on nearby, so come on in, let's go ahead and do that. Boom. Can confirm it is somewhat reflective, but not ridiculously reflective, so... Okay, well, tell me what you think. Feel free to comment below. Well then, someone had a little accident. I know a lot of people really like this. I know a lot of people really wanted to see this being accepted. I hope you're happy. What we are looking at, what we are witnessing, is art. See, it's art on a plain white canvas. Don't you understand? I mean, with the recent heat waves we've had in the EU, I certainly didn't have an accident, but I tell you what, I was sweating so crazy. All right, anyway. So let's just quickly showcase this. In total darkness, I don't know what you've been drinking. It was probably all of those energy drinks. Yeah, it glows. Are you happy with yourself? Are you pleased with what you see? Oh, God. So does it only glow on that patch right there? Yes, literally just the patch. Huh. Well then, feel free to comment below. Are you going to race to buy that as soon as possible? Moving on. So just having a conversation just a second ago. Kind of reminds you of like the old VHS tape logos and whatnot. I mean, if you're old. If you're old. How old, Hedge? But that's just a nice sort of plain, straightforward, stylish logo. That is the Nova garage door. And that looks ever so nice. And, well, warm, I guess you could say. So I will point out this is made by the same skin creator that made the Greening Area collection. And, well, considering the success of that collection with all the deplorables, I can't help but assume we'll get something very similar. But, of course, instead, nice, hot, warm colours instead. Yeah. So, skin creator is experienced with making various deplorables and whatnot. I think we've got a pretty interesting collection on the horizon. Keep an eye on the workshop and tell me what you think in regards to this garage door. It's not wacky. It's not crazy. It's just nice, stylish and straightforward. And you know what? I get the feeling a lot of people happens like that. Now, one thing I forgot to check. Does it glow in the dark when it's rolled up? Well, yep. There you go. Ta-da! So it does happen to glow when it's rolled up at night time. Okay, well, that's perfect then. What do you reckon? Will you be racing to get one of them? Or has the Abyss armoured door caught your eye? With its various scary looking eyes and sharp teeth. So yeah, this has actually worked out very, very, very nicely. I remember when I first saw, the garage door? Yeah, garage door like 2-3 years ago. And I thought that was too wacky. I thought that was too silly to even get accepted. Now, after about 30 skins being accepted after it, okay, sure, yeah. That clearly worked out perfectly fine. But wow, Little Ranger is on a roll. He just keeps getting more and more skins accepted. But with all due respect, he has got quite a lot of interesting collections. Last week, we had the UAP bearskin rug. This week, yet another Abyss deplorable. So, okay, cool. Well, thoughts and opinions, please. What do you reckon? That is a perfectly fine, scary-looking armoured door. And, of course, with the hatch there, you got 2 extra eyes. That was a nice touch. That was clever. So, no 2 armoured doors this week. In fact, where's the metal shot front? Ooh. So, but then again, next week we have another rust door for this month, so I'm sure we could still see another armoured door. Or maybe they take a break from armoured door next week, who knows. But, okay. Over the past month, we have seen some very cool-looking armoured doors. So far, which one's your favourite? Does it happen to be the Abyss armoured door? And moving on from there, we've got 2 clothing armour pieces to take a look at. Let's just adjust the sun, try and make myself look nice and pretty, because what I have over here is the Tyre Tactical Gloves. Perfect. Perfect. And this was recently submitted. Why do we still not have the Tier 3 armour? I would very much like the Tier 3 armour face punch. In fact, you know, some hoodie and pants, some Tier 2. Let's also make a note that we've also got the Cell boots. So we've got all the Tier 2 pieces, and now we have the boots and the road sign gloves as well. So, okay. You know what? 2 welcome additions from some collections that have been around for quite some time now. Nighttime look. Lights are nearby. You can see these are vaguely reflective. Yeah, not exactly like super shiny, super glossy, super in your face. And over to here, the booties. Well, Not exactly super reflective here either. Okay, well, looks perfectly fine to me. Feel free to comment below your own thoughts. And to those who are curious, I know some people ask, hey, does it glow in the dark or anything? No. So, okay, I'll just move around just in case, just so people get the point. Perfectly fine additions indeed, but, you know, where's the hoodie and pants? Where's the tier 2? Where's the tier 3? Maybe next week we'll just get 3 primitive skins instead. Alright, we'll see how it goes, but we really have been lacking with clothing armor recently. Even though, right now, there's actually perfectly fine options to choose from. Redemption hoodie and pants. There's Hellforged tier 2. What do you reckon? I reckon we should go ahead and showcase the weapons. So, first up, here we have a biblically accurate angel savage sword. Alright then, okay, well, does look a bit goofy, but if you know, you know. There's some very strange looking biblically accurate angels. And you know what? I guess that opens the door for a pretty interesting weapon collection on the horizon. Nighttime look. Now, personally, I would have made it glow in the dark. Chances are they probably did produce a version that did, but I guess what of angels and angelic presence, it should have glowed, but, you know, you can offer your opinion there. But yep, nightlight isn't exactly, like, super handy, super helpful, but it's a savage sword, so... whatever. Anyway, if I could just adjust the lighting a little bit there, and if I could now switch over to here... Can I get some better lighting, son? Stop being out of position. Because I need to get a good look at this angel. Because I'm very confused at what I'm looking at. But, with all due respect, that is a wacky and yet very unique looking design for a sword. So what would you like to see that would be similar? A different sort of weapon skin, you know? What else would you like to see getting this treatment? Could we also see the different types of biblically accurate angels? Like, you know, there's the one with all the rings and whatnot. Maybe that might look good in AK. Who knows? There's certainly a lot of, like, potential creative freedom with that. So, keep an eye on the workshop. Keep an eye out and see what the skin creator works on next. Because I think you could be pleasantly surprised with some very wacky looking designs. But it's all biblically accurate. So, okay, cool. Maybe it just might end up being like a combat knife or a long sword. Or maybe the skin creator really does lean in and do something like a jackhammer. Or an M249 or something. So, alright, cool. Well, we'll see what happens next. We'll see what gets made next. So, next up. What on earth is going on with the lighting? Let's now showcase the cartoon sap. And I can confirm we got another transparent aim sight sap. Now, you might sit there and say, okay, what's so special about that? It's the fact that we have had, in the past 3 acceptances, all of them being transparent aim sight saps. Like last year, we were surprised to see 2. This year, it hasn't even fully completed. We've already got 3. Actually, technically speaking, last year, I know Monument, I'm telling them, you might recall we had the special Trust and Rust sap. That was given away for free. That was a pure white design with a red aim sight that was transparent as well. Ha! So, yeah, we've got a lot of options, don't we? Yes, we do. But this particular set right here, it only costs $2. By default, it's instantly the cheapest option. Yes, I know, I point it out. And chances are, right, the reason why it's the second best selling skin so far is probably because of the cute face. Maybe. Give that a nice little reload. So it's kind of got like a interesting sort of JPEG style. If you can remember the JPEG skins and whatnot. Somewhat similar. So I'll ask you now, what would you like to see being made next? A saw? Well, hang on a minute. Does that mean we have another transparent aim sight collection? It's a saw, maybe? Anyway, nighttime look. How's it look at nighttime with the colour scheme? And you know what? I can see it pretty decently. Not too bad. Okay, yeah, not too bad. I guess we should also look at it in third person as well then. So yeah, we did it for the sword. We should also look at the sap hedge. Come on now. Let's get up nice and close. Get a good look at that. Bit of a strange colour scheme, but you know what? I'm not against people trying different things. So, okay, cool. Keep it on the workshop. I'm sure we've got a brand new interesting style for a weapon collection. Who knows what else gets made? But you'll only know if you keep it on the workshop. So, alright, cool. Back to night time. Let's get up nice and close to the lights. And I can confirm it's not reflective. It's not reflective. So, alright, cool. So, over to here. Boom. A perfectly fine looking sap. I guess in the predictions video, I've got to make a big fuss about what's going on with sap skins recently. Because even though this has been accepted, I don't think many people realise it has a transparent aim sight. Maybe I might need to make a fuss about that. Or maybe I can leave it be, so the previous sap skins that came out recently can actually rise up in price. Well, we'll see, we'll see. So, cool. Keep an eye out for more potential skins in this cartoon collection. But now, I'm going to move on and showcase this AK-47. And also adjust the lights. Like, what are you doing today, son? What are you doing? Anyway. Get a good at that. Perfectly fine, like a red aim sight. But that's the standard sight for an AK-47. No transparency this week. Some very cool looking art though. Wow, look at that. And also, oh, no bullets. They're quite expensive, you know. Alright, let's go. Perfect. And then of course reload again. So yeah, this is a bit of a wacky, strange looking style. But I'm not against it. Alright, cool. So again, perhaps a brand new weapon collection on the horizon. Do you want it to be even wackier? Or would you like them to just try and do something completely different? Is this like some sort of slime monster or some alien with a strange looking skull? I don't know. But something different. Nighttime look. Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. Aim down the sight at night time. Not exactly the best with the nightlight. Back to daytime. Just the lights. Let's get up nice and close. So, might not have an advantage in terms of pay to win style. But you like the style it's going for? It is a bit strange. It is a bit weird. But I guess you have to do that now with AK-47 skins to stand out and get accepted. So, props to the skin creator. We'll be keeping an eye out for you. Ha 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 ha. You know the eyes. Oh, shut up, Hedge. Go then. Let's go to stage. Get a good look at that. Alright. Not exactly super reflective or super shiny. But again, that's one strange looking AK. So, overall this week, at first glance, I did kind of dismiss it. Like, if you were there, if you were in my stream, I was just like, nah. But now that I've actually looked at all the skins, I will sit here and say we got some pretty cool looking designs. Some pretty interesting potential investments. But of course, consider watching the predictions video and see what I'm going to discuss in regards to that. Well then, I'll ask you once again, out of all the skins we just looked at, which one now happens to be most favourite? Next up, the brand new charity skins. But I should point out, I've kind of already showcased them already. You know, in a certain video, I showcased the brand new Twitch drops as well. So if you've already watched it, thank you very much. And if you haven't watched it, well, I mean, you know, go give that a good look if you want to. But yes, I've already mentioned that these two charity skins, they do contribute to the overall charity event that's currently taking place. If we could reach $250,000, we will finally get that extra auto-turret Twitch drop, won't we? And to be honest with you, with these two particular skins, yeah, I think we'll probably be seeing that happening tomorrow. Be prepared. Right, so let's just go through the rules real quickly. You can only buy one of these. They are not tradable. They are not marketable, okay? I will be brutally honest with you. If that was marketable and tradable, I probably would have bought 100 of them right now. We hardly ever see hammer skins being accepted in Rust stores, which is weird because you use them all the time. But not only that, it's a glow-in-the-dark design. It is an awesome looking shark hammer. And I really wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are going to be greatly appreciating this as time goes on. Alright? So if anything, it might cause problems for the pre-existing hammers. Anyway, it's actually fairly priced. It's only $2. So, you know, I wouldn't miss out on this. Because I must point this out as well. It will be available for this week's Rust store and next week's. But once it's gone, it's gone. Okay? So, for your consideration. And of course, I'll try my best to showcase it to the best of my ability so that, you know, you want to have him in your hands and pet and whatnot. So, yep, $2 for the Global Warfare 4 hammer and $4 for the Global Warfare sleeping bag. Now, you might not instantly notice this, but this is actually made by the same skin creator that made the hologram furnace and the hologram barbecue. Technically speaking, you could probably look at this and say, oh, it's a hologram sleeping bag then. Yeah, you could say that. So, That is priced at $4. This is also not tradable, not marketable, and you can only buy one of them. And once it's gone, it's gone. So, for a good cause, for your consideration, maybe consider buying one for yourself. It's up to you. At the very least, let's hop in game, give them a good look, and honestly, I think you'll be very impressed with what you're about to see. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Right, so that's a cool looking design. But what I think a lot of people are going to greatly appreciate the most is when you look at it at night time. Look at all that lovely red liquid. Oh, it's very messy. It's very messy eater. But then, night time. Oh, my God. Whoa, yeah. So that just made it look a whole lot more gruesome. But I will tell you this. In the original design, Fancy was going to try and make this have a transparent mouth so that you could see through it. But unfortunately, when you looked like directly at it, you could just see straight through it. And I know you're going to bring up, what about the scalpel bone knife we saw recently? Well, apparently it wasn't allowed, so alright, fair enough then. Let me hold it in my hands and, well, if I could just adjust the lighting. Boom. Get a good look at that. So for $2, would you like to hold this in your hands and scare some people? So what are you going to call him? Billy, yes. Right. So also, nighttime. Get a good look at that. And now let's go on stage. Because is it reflective and whatnot? Does it matter? Well, I mean, it does look nice. So, alright, cool. So, yeah, for $2, not only do you get an amazing looking skin, but it also contributes to the charity. So, helps out with Cancer Research UK, the Children's Hospice. It's all for a good cause. So, whilst you can only buy one, every little helps. So, what are your thoughts? Is that one of the best ever hammer skins you've ever seen? Do you have a phobia of sharks? Well, too late. Right then. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sleeping bag. And now for the sleeping bag. Once again, I'll point out, it costs $4, but it does contribute to the charity. And it's also made by the skin creator behind the hologram collection. So instantly you notice it's got that interesting transparent style to it. It's got that lovely blue way. Hue, whatever. Anyway, yeah, look at that. The lights are nearby. It's got an interesting sci-fi style. Now, with what I thought, you know, like in certain sci-fi films or TV shows, if someone gets injured, they stick in like a giant tube of water. It's just kind of like hang in the water for a week or so, I don't know. I just had points of, that's a medbed, that's an auto dock. Sure, I don't know the terms and whatnot. Sorry. But I can sit here and say, that is a cool looking sleeping bag. If only you could actually stick your legs inside. It would look a whole lot more interesting because then you can see through it. Well, a very nice style to it. Contributes to the charity. How could you say no? So, alright. I'm sure a lot of people greatly appreciate having that inside their base. You probably don't want to stick it outside because people notice, so yeah. Well, that's all the skins for this week. Let's now wrap up the video. And as you can see on micro522.com, all the skins this week did have a favourable upvote to downvote ratio. You might question the amount of votes some of the skins got, but it's fine. It's a positive thing. It's all good. So, alright, cool. So you can see that in the accepted section on micro522.com. It'll be linked in the description of this video. So, overall, yeah, it turned out to be a pretty interesting looking Rust store. Some brand new charity skins. The plushies have been persistent as well. But if I was to, specifically talk about the skins in the Rust store today that rotated in, which one happens to be my favourite? Feel free to comment below. Now, if you want to kind of get a good idea in regards to what we should be expecting soon enough, well, I'll quickly keep you informed that the brand new Skinnable for August Force Wipe, yep, it's small backpacks. I know we've brought this up a lot, but I also want to point out the focused item of the month for August 2026 is going to be the bucket helmet. We're going to see some very strange looking skins, aren't we? Yeah. Hope you're looking forward to it. So, alright, cool. I guess you can look forward to that. But I should point out next week is another July Rust store. 5 rust stores in this month. Oh. Who knows what we might see, but I have noticed a bit of a pattern. Basically, as you might notice, with all the acceptances this week, quite a lot of the skins weren't exactly submitted this past weekend, but the weekend before. So if I could just point out, the pattern is, basically, for the next Rust store, you might want to look at the most recent Rust Workshop skin checks. So case in point, with today's current Rust store, take a look at the Rust Workshop skin checks for July 14, 2026. Do you happen to notice a certain garage door right there? Do you happen to notice a certain auto turret right there? So if we get a good idea of what we might see next week, well, consider watching the most recent video, the Rust Workshop skin checks for July 21, 2026. Who knows what interesting things might potentially be accepted. But I should point out, I only specifically talk about the collection continuations. There was a lot of them. There was over 130 skins submitted. Oh, it's ridiculous. So yeah, that'll give you a good idea in regards to what we might be seeing. And, well, is there anything else to bring up? Like I said, we've got Twitch drops on the horizon. Of course, I've already talked about the charity skins previously, but yes, I'm not joking when I say you need to see what you can do with that locker. Consider watching this video specifically to skip ahead to the chapter where I showcase the Locker Peaks Exploit Showcase. It's at the very end of the video, but when you see it with your own eyes, I think you're going to race to get that locker as soon as possible. That all should be dropping next week, all right? So hopping back over to here, looking at twitch.facepunch.com. Whilst we have these charity skins right now, it should be updated to also have the Fancy Ob Global Warfare Twitch drops as well, okay? They're all general drops. All you have to do is watch anyone streaming Rust on Twitch, and you can get them for absolutely free. I'll be streaming next week. I am taking part in the Global Warfare event next week, so if you want to watch someone, I'm just saying, if you want to. My Twitch link is in the description of the video. It's up to you. I'm with the artists. I've somehow become the leader of the artists. I don't tell them I can't draw. I'm not sure what we're up to, but it's going to be pretty goofy, right? So if you just want to chill out, relax, enjoy yourself, by all means, turn up, say hello. Right then, so that'll be something to look forward to. Yes, indeed. But again, I reiterate, with the brand new charity Rust store skins today, I really wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow that auto turret becomes available, okay? Be prepared. So, okay, cool. I think that's pretty much everything. Player count's looking quite alright. Nothing really crazy being mentioned other than the interactable monuments. Apparently we're going to be able to get power from power lines nearby. So you know how we just had that big discussion with the auto turret and potentially being able to hide it? Yeah, you might have a lot of auto turrets all on the roads from here and now. Awesome. Yay. Oh no. Imagine if you could quite literally take over a whole neighborhood to yourself. Well, things are going to be pretty wacky, pretty interesting, but not until August Force White. So, not next week, but the week after. So, alright, cool. Well, that's pretty much everything that needs to be said. We got a good idea, we got a good look, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed yourself. So, thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you all later. Say goodbye.